Hey, it's Wormwood, and today we're going to do a little um, technical analysis on Bitcoin. As you know, pretty much the whole market, cryptocurrency market, follows Bitcoin. So we're going to take a look at it, see where it's at, where it might go, and how strong it looks. So let's take a look at the strength of it in either direction here. The Let's go ahead and zoom out to a monthly chart. We've been looking at this channel here, Bitcoin trading. You see we're sitting right on this 50% line. If we break through this, then I'd expect to start having targets towards the bottom, down here to 24. But we'll see. We'll see if we move back up. We're just in indecision right now. Here's a weekly view of it. You could look at it like this. 1, 2. That'd be a small second wave. 2, 3, and quite possibly have 4 and 5 up here somewhere. Would be reasonable. I wanted to see it at least reach our middle line here. This is our top line. You see how we broke this. We didn't get quite up to here. Let's look at this. I'll show you. I'll explain this to you. Alright, see we have this channel. See, we made it to let's see, what is this? This is our 272 area. This one we just didn't make it to 272. If we made it to 272 on this, we'd be looking at somewhere right around 600,000. 600K, something like that. But we didn't make a quite as high here. There's a lot of debate whether with whale manipulation and all this kind of stuff concerning Bitcoin. I tell you the truth, this last top here, this is what I like to see. I like to see this. This is what I don't like this blow off top right here. This shows instability. This shows that everybody sold and the market tanked all at one time. We have a sideways movement here. We move from our top parallel line to our bottom parallel line right here, and that was a sideways movement through time. It shows that people were buying at the top. Shows that people were purchasing at the top. Let's see. What you had was a equilibrium right at this point, and if you don't sell, then you don't make any profit, right? Unless you pull out a loan or something like that in your cryptocurrency, but you have to sell to make a profit. This right here shows that people were buying and selling, right? You had people taking profit, and you had people buying it up. That's why we had this sideways movement. This is a good sign. You should want this. This is a good-looking Wyckoff pattern. I'll hand you that. It looks really good. But this is actually what you want to see. This right here shows stability in the market. This is what you want to see, and I'll show you why. This is why I do the parallel line things. Let's get rid of this real quick. Okay, let's see. Alright, so if we put parallel lines on this move up, and incidentally, the steeper the parallel line, the harder it is to maintain. So the faster the price is going up, the harder it is to maintain that parallel, that channel, right? So we see here that we had this high here, and that's our middle mark, our 1, right? This high didn't quite make it to it. This one made it to 618, right? We have our 618 line coming up here. Didn't even really quite make it to that, to 618, okay? So I would actually consider this high as a lower high than this one. Even though it's a higher high, I'd consider this as a lower high, right? The they say, a market's making, it's going up if it's making higher highs and going down if it's making lower highs. Well, I'd consider this a lower high than this one because it didn't make it back up to our top channel line. And then if you look at this high didn't make it up to the 618 line. You see? Didn't make it to the 618. If it made it to the 618, it'd been up here somewhere, right? So this is a lower high than this high. Even though it's a higher high, it's a lower high. This is just this is not financial advice or trading advice or anything. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm just talking about the way I look at things, and so that I can go back later on and recap it, look at it, see what I'm talking about, see where I was right, where I was wrong, and consider the market for my own educational. These videos are made just as much for me as I'm making them for everybody else. So I'm just posting them so other people can see them if you choose to. So anyway, you see we fell out of our channel here. This was a fall out of the channel. We came back up. Didn't even really test it. Got close to it. Tested that bottom. And then that was our first wave down. Right? So now we are looking at the same thing. We want to see the same thing to turn around. Okay? We want to see where we're at so we'll know when it's going to turn around. So we're going to take our highs here. And then we'll take our first low. And we'll see where we're at. Okay? You see we're moving sideways through time. Moving sideways through time. And we're making, even though this was a lower low right here, I consider that a higher low, because if we made the same low, it would have been down here. Right? So now we're battling it out. We're finding some support. So eventually we want to see a pattern where we're going to break out of this channel here. We've got a good, we've got some divergence going on here where our price went lower and our relative strength went just about the same level, right? Our price went lower here and our relative strength stayed higher. So we have some divergence going on there. So this is where we're at. I'm just looking to see if we can test this bottom channel here again. That's where I'm looking at right around, that would be right around 26, 24. That correlates with our higher time frames as well. If not, if we start to move up, then I would suggest that we're probably going to test our, let's say 35 or so, right around 35, 37, probably in the 37, 40 area. If we go ahead and break out of this, let's see where we're at on an hourly chart. Let's get rid of these lines. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here on our hourly. Okay, here's a good example of what I was just speaking of. Okay, so we have our two first lows and then our high. You see we broke out of this channel here. So we broke out the bottom of this channel here. We couldn't maintain it. Now we could draw this like this. Could draw this like this. But either way, even though this is a higher high, I consider it a lower low than this. I mean, even though this is a higher low, I consider this a lower high than this because of the strength of the market, right? So it's a higher low, but I consider it a lower low because it had fallen out of the channel, which was set by this low. But it doesn't mean that it's going to go down. It doesn't mean that it's going to go down at all. It's just something to keep into consideration. So we're not only looking at price movement, whether the price is going up or down, we're looking at the price movement through time. Time has to be a factor. If it wasn't for time, then this would be a higher high. I mean a higher low, right? But because of time, because this low here, because this broke out, I would consider this. This is my own. This is, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. This is for me to go back and look at, analyze my thoughts, and to see where I was right and wrong, and to move from there in the future. See what I can learn from my own trading in the future, to see where I can improve on it. But I would consider that, because of time, I would consider that a lower low as opposed to a higher low. If that truly is the low, it might fall off from here. Upside, I would hope that it would make it back up to the top of our channel. Top of our channel is right around 30, 39. Give it some time, right around, I'd say about 40 is what I'm looking at. And that would be my target on the upside. 24 on the downside, quite possibly. Right around 40 on the upside. So we just need to see if it can break out of this descending channel right here that we've got. This looks like a descending wedge. That's what that looks like. Kind of. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if it breaks this bottom trend line. I wouldn't be overly concerned if it went down to 33, somewhere around 33, found some support, and then popped back up. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. Anyway, this is my thought on Bitcoin. I hope this helped you. I hope you got some good ideas from this. And give me a like, a subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps out. I really appreciate it. And y'all are beautiful. I will see you next time.